Hello everybody, it's Jeana at Artist Skincare. So what I wanted to bring to you guys today is the new product from Sculplla. Many of you are using Caviplla and you're using the Promoter Repair Cream and the eye cream from Sculplla and the TMP. It's all fantastic, but guess what? They just came out with another product to layer in there with your Sculplla, and the product's name is Hydrotox. This is actually a system. So we've always questioned in the past, can we use exfoliants? Can we use acids with our Sculplla and our Caviplla? Well, they made these so they go perfectly with the Caviplla, and now you can have your exfoliation that you've been wanting to do. And it's wonderful because it's let me pull it out of here, a PHA and an AHA, which is a new kind of acid. It's super gentle to the skin, but really nice and exfoliating without causing any flaking and irritation, that kind of thing. And so it comes in this little bottle like this. I'm going to show you everything that's in here because when you get it, you're going to wonder, what the heck do I do with this stuff? So here it is in the box. We've got our pads right here. That's our exfoliating pads. We've got the solution that we're going to pour in with the pads. And then we have the gold glow serum. And then in addition to that, we have this fabulous syringe here that we can use to put the serum on our face. So now, of course, my phone is, hang on, I'll be right back. Celine, send me a message that we're working here because my screen has gone very dark. I just am YouTube challenged. Hey, I am super talented at skin. I can work miracles on your skin. I can create protocols that are so amazing for your skin, but when it comes to technology, I'll get it eventually, but in the beginning, I'm a little bit slow. So I'm hoping that Celine's gonna come on here and she's gonna tell me that you guys are all still good. You can all see me just fine, even though my screen has gone very dark. So let's see what she's telling me over here. Sound and look great, still good. Carol wants to know my skincare routine. Good. As long as you guys can see me, even if I can't see myself, I don't mind. So back to, and Carol, I will share with you this routine that goes with this, and I've been experimenting with it and really loving it. So also though, I wanted to tell you I have a lot of new routines I've come up with in the last 3 months. I'm working with my online clients. I only do 2 or 3 healthy aging, I call them healthy aging consultations, where you actually send me in pictures, you fill out a consultation form, and then I come up with a protocol for you and we email back and forth. And I only take 2 or 3 people per week. So if you go on my website and you go to look at that and you see that it's sold out and it says put your email address in here, do that. Because as soon as I have more openings the next week, you'll get an email and you can be one of the first ones to get on there and buy your healthy aging consultation. But Carol, I would love to make you one that's specific to you, because I'm 58, I don't know what your age is, but I'm working on protocols for me right now that have to do with estrogen loss, menopause, and that kind of thing, because as you know, with menopause, our estrogen decreases by about 30% in the first 5 years and then 2% every year after. So I'm seeing immediate drastic losses of collagen, and so I'm doing things to really address that estrogen loss in my skin. So I have a specific protocol that I'm using with that. And I am using Hydrotox and Sculplla with that, but I have some different protocols depending on your age. If you're in that hormonal menopausal window, or if you're beyond that window, or if you're before that window, I really have to customize a protocol just for you. So unless you're exactly 58 and you stopped menstruating when you were 55, then you may not want the exact same routine that I have, and I can customize one for you. So back to our Hydrotox. So the first thing that you're going to do when you get Hydrotox in, why do you want Hydrotox, I guess, first of all? Why did they add Hydrotox into the Sculplla home care system. So we know the Sculplla really promotes collagen, really plump and juicy skin. It also, because it plumps so much, we see a lot of the lines softening up. What they did when they created Hydrotox is they wanted to go after those expression lines that we get on a deeper level. They wanted to be able to provide a product that gives you a Botox effect without having injections, or that gives you a Botox effect so that your injections last longer and you don't have to get them as often. So they came up with Hydrotox, and it's fabulous. Anywhere that you have those little expression lines, if you carry tension in your face, you know, when I'm having a lot of tension, even my husband notices, I have just lots of extra little tension lines everywhere in my face. The Enzyme helps with releasing those, meditation helps, exercise helps, but now we also have Hydrotox that goes in there and just softens and releases those tense muscles. Now, I have two people who are being really great guinea pigs for me on this. One of them is my husband. We'll be showing you before and after pictures in another week or two. I want to give them a couple weeks on the system before we actually do that before and after picture. Michelle, my husband, is just about a week into it. And you know, he's got these lines across his forehead because I think from the time he was born, he's been making these amazing expressions with his eyebrows. He's just got massive muscles here and massive lines across the top of his forehead. And I thought, okay, this is really gonna be great to try it on him. What I want to tell you is that maybe they are gonna go away in a few weeks, but not likely. What I wanted to say is that this is not the same as actually getting an injection. You are still going to have full use of all those muscles. And if you are 60 years old and you've got deep grooves from those expressions, mine goes this way, his go this way, they are not going to go away altogether. And they're not going to be completely softened like when you get a Botox injection. But what this is doing is that we're seeing that it rebounds faster. So the groove is not as deep. When you make that expression and you crinkle up, the muscle unfurls and flattens back out, has more elasticity faster. And so you're not carrying that chronic tension in the face. It's relaxing it up so that we don't have that deep furrowing going on, and it's not just deepening. We don't have that loss of blood flow, lymph movement. We don't get all that stagnation in those little tension areas of our face. So that's why we have Hydrotox, and we've added this system in. Now, Hydrotox comes with an exfoliant. So that's our exfoliating pads that you have here. When you get these pads, you're gonna open them up. The top has a plastic seal on it. You'll open that up, and then you're gonna take this bottle, and this is the liquid. This is your PHA and AHA, and you're gonna pour the entire bottle into your pads, and then you will put the lid back on. It comes with another, there it is, comes with another little lid that once you pour that liquid in, we have another little lid that you can use so to help with leakage, preventing leakage. So you can go ahead, you can put this on top and then put your lid on top of that, screw it down, and you've got a nice seal on your bottle. These pads have two sides. When you look at them, they have a smooth side and then they have a rougher side or a textured side. You want to use the textured side first, then you flip it over, and then you use the soft side. So the textured side goes over and kind of roughs up the skin, the smallest little amount. It's not really rough at all, but it's nice. This is gonna loosen things up. Then you flip it over and use that soft side, and that soft side is gonna push the PHA and the AHA deeper into the pores and into the skin. Now, some people can use these twice a day. I tried doing that. I could get away with it for probably 3 days. And then I had to back off to using them once a day. Now, I'm a more normal combination skin. I have larger pores through the T-zone. So if you have no pores visible, you have drier skin, you may find that you use these only once or twice, maybe 3 times max per week. So it's one of those things where you're gonna use them as often as your skin will tolerate them. Now today, I'm not gonna do the whole facial thing and put it on for you, but I am going to record a video step by step that will show you that and me actually using them. That's why I'm not opening it today, because I'm actually gonna do it in our big video that we put more polish on and make it a little nicer. Today I wanted to be able to show it to you guys, get your questions about it, really hear what you think about it, so that when I do the longer video, I know what kind of things you guys are wanting to know. What do I need to tell you about it? So this is our gold ampule. There is actually 24 karat gold in there. It's so amazing. Now, when you put this on and you rub it on, you will see little gold flecks. As you rub and massage it in, you will see those flecks completely dissolve and melt into the skin, and that's what you want to do. So if you have a little fleck somewhere after you put it on, just go ahead and rub that little fleck a little more. It'll dissolve and it just works its way into the skin. When you use this, you're going to use a little ampule. You're going to put the syringe. You're going to put the syringe in. You're going to pull the syringe open and suck the liquid up into here. And you're going to use about half, I'd say 1/4 to half a syringe every time you do this treatment. And then you're going to stick the syringe back in the bottle and leave it stored in that way. So super easy. I just wanted to go over, how do you get these things out of the box? How do you actually put them together? But I mean, now let's get down to the dirty business of it, right? How do we use it? In what order do we put it on? So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to, of course, wash your face. I like to use that Dr. Estée Deep Clean Enzyme Wash. Fantastic. Wash your face really well. Give yourself that good 3-minute detoxifying massage that really gets the lymph flowing, detoxifies the skin, gets it nice and clean. In the morning, I'm not using the pads. So in the morning, I'm going to skip the pads. I'm going to cleanse. I'm going to put on my Hyal serum right here. That's your hyaluronic acid. Then I'm going to do 2 pumps of Caviplla. I'm going to massage the Caviplla all over, and it's going to start to foam up. Now, so those of you who are here watching this, I'm going to give you a little tip. Something that I've been doing that I haven't done in the past, and because I was finding I wasn't using my TMP as often as I should, because I'm naughty about that. Things that take more than 5 or 3 or 4 minutes, I'm like not doing it, right? So I developed a technique with this. I put on my Caviplla. As soon as it starts to foam, I turn my TMP on to the lowest setting. I'm using the lowest setting because I'm gonna do this every day, and I'm only gonna do it for under a minute. Once that Caviplla foam is on my face, I'm gonna turn this on, the first setting, and I'm gonna use my TMP to work that foam into the skin. It's fantastic. It gives you a little plumpness each day. It gives you a little bit of the TMP benefits each day without overdoing it. Now, you know, if you do a full 10-minute treatment and you do it on the full strength, you've got to wait like 72 hours before you do the treatment again. But I've talked to the manufacturer, and it's perfectly okay for us to use it the way I'm saying, is that you put on the lowest setting. You don't even have your conductive gel on, as long as you're using your Hyal serum with it, because you've got to have good slip, and you get that nice foam on there. Then you just really quickly using your TMP and working that Caviplla into the skin. And yes, go over the lips and lift up lift up our little nasolabial folds, and it's all good. So once you've done that and your foam has disappeared, that's when you're going to grab your Hydrotox Gold Ampoule. You're going to take your ampule and you're going to put some on your forehead, massage it in each cheek, massage it in neck, chest, everywhere, massage it in really well. Then you're going to grab your Promoter Repair Cream, that's your moisturizer. You're going to put on your moisturizer, and then you're going to grab your sun cushion, right? This is the whole Tove system. Sculplla and Hydrotox are made by a company called Tove, T-O-V. So the whole Tove system, we are going to put on the moisturizer, use our sun cushion to put on our sun protection, because guess what? We're spending so much money on these products, right? And we're spending so much time and energy on these products, but we want to protect what we're doing. We're repairing collagen, and we're promoting more collagen production in our skin. So we don't want to go out in the sun, or even in our car or near the windows, without having sun protection on, because the sun destroys our collagen. It diminishes the amount of collagen we have and it deforms it. So we want to put on our sun cushion, and then I grab my Sculplla mist and I'm putting my Sculplla mist in my hands and I'm patting it onto my face, and my skin has this perfect glow. And if you guys have been doing the system, you know your skin has a perfect glow, and people will compliment you throughout the day on how great your skin looks. Now, with Hydrotox added into it, I thought, am I really going to see much of a difference? I am really excited that in a couple weeks, I'm going to be able to show you the before and after pictures of Michelle, my husband, who's 58, and his mom, who's 83. Real difference in the kind of lines they have on their face, and it's going to be really fun to see the difference. When I had done the system, I did notice it within 3 days. My lines around my eyes were softer. My line between here was softer. My texture everywhere was smoother and softer. So my skin just looked all around more youthful and younger. And people at work were even noticing, oh yeah, your skin looks really good. That's really good stuff. So that's a really good testimonial in itself. So that in a nutshell is how to use the new system. Now, I know we had a question over here. I'm looking there. We have Carol, who's 23, and her concern is skin texture. So Carol, at 23, what's happening in your skin is, you know, let me back up a little bit. At 40s, late 40s, 50s, what's happening in my skin is collagen loss. I don't have enough estrogen in the estrogen receptors in my skin. There's not enough estrogen, and so I'm losing collagen. When you're in your 20s, your antioxidant levels are starting, your natural antioxidant levels are diminishing in your skin. So you don't need collagen to smooth that texture of your skin. You need antioxidants. So when I'm talking about antioxidants, I mean you need vitamin C serums. Rhonda Ellison makes an amazing antioxidant complex. You need those kind of serums on your face, and eat them. Eat your superfoods, right? Your green drinks, all of that, super good antioxidants for you. The other thing at 23 is that you've got to make sure you're getting enough water in your skin. So don't use oils. Don't put oils on your skin, essential oils, none of that. Your skin is made up of 65% water. You need water. So first and foremost, wash your face twice a day with a non-drying gel cleanser, because that's actually going to open the skin up so that water can get into your skin. If you don't wash your face twice a day, you're missing out on that opportunity to rehydrate your skin. Keep it plump and juicy so it doesn't start getting those dry dehydration lines and that dehydration texture in the skin. So drinking a lot of water, get your antioxidants on the surface, and take your antioxidants. Use your sunscreen, because we all know how leathery the skin looks when it gets sun damage. But the other thing that you want to do is, if you tend to have more oily skin, so sometimes I'm going to use a toner depending on what's causing your texture. If you've got a more rough textured skin and you tend to have more oily skin, or you've got some acne scarring, I'm going to go after that with probably a nice toner that's a corrective toner. Possibly like Rhonda Allison's Mandelic Defense Tonic, something like that. Lemieux Vita C clear skin pads. Sometimes just adding a little bit of an acid toner or an acid pad to your regimen, either daily, definitely like the Hydrotox pads, something like that. If you're adding that in either daily or a couple times a week, that's gonna really help keep that buildup of dead skin cells off the surface, and it's gonna keep that skin texture really nice and smooth. So I hope that helps you. Celine, do we have any other questions today? I'm opening it up right now. You guys have me here. I've got 12 people on. You guys have me. We had somebody call in today, and I was so sad. I had to tell them that I don't take phone calls. We don't answer skincare questions over the phone. You have to live chat us. You have to email us. There's just not enough of us to go around to talk on the phone with people. But one of the things why I'm trying to perfect this YouTube situation is I do want to answer you guys' questions in real time. I can't do it on the phone, but if we can do these kind of chats and you can throw some questions at me, this is your opportunity to ask me that question you've always wanted to ask me about your skin or your skincare protocols. I don't know who we have on today. I don't know what your specific kind of concerns are. I do know that on YouTube in the last week, we have had people asking me, how do you combine devices? Because last week when I did a live, I talked about a lot of the different devices, but I had many people who are more aging clients who really want to know, well, I want to use more than one device, or I already even own more than one device. How do I combine them? So one big question has come up. One of the clients wanted to know, why can't I use, back up. I have to organize my thoughts here. So generally my recommendation to you is not to use don't combine all your modalities on one day. Give your skin a little rest from a modality. So maybe one day you're doing your EMS with your Time Master Pro. Then the next day you're doing some radio frequency with your curve. And then the next day maybe you're doing the Mitama or the Claire Blend Mini with your microcurrent. You know, giving yourself some time in between, sometimes even resting a full day in between your electrical device or tool is helpful for your skin, because remember, your skin is a live healing organism. It needs to have time. Like, give it time to interact with what you've done with it. If you've done this wonderful treatment with the curve on it, give it 24 or even 48 hours before you do anything else on it. Let your skin react. Let it work with the information that you've given it. When you have a Mitama treatment, there's a lot of detoxification information and firming and healing information. There's so much information coming into your skin and your system when you use the Mitama that you really want to wait as long as you can before you introduce something else. I have a lot of clients that want to use and do use really successfully the Mitama and the curve. The Mitama is giving them that all over health, that detoxification, depuffing the skin, really firming the skin. And then they're going in with the Mitama and they're doing some really targeted lifting and tightening. I said Mitama, this is the curve. They're going into the curve and they're doing this really targeted tightening, because this is a really good surface tightener right here. So the Mitama is going to take care of skin density. If you notice sometimes with people or with yourself where that skin just starts to look thin and then it starts to look like it's just kind of hanging down and it's getting very thin, it's losing that cushion, that means you're losing your skin density. Mitama goes after that like nothing else. I don't know anything else that will go in and help rebuild that skin density. Then you can go in with your MBK curve, and that's when you're going to come in and then you're going to tighten the skin texture all over the face. Think about those pores tightening, the surface tension being tighter on the face. That's a wonderful combination, those two products. So you can do the Mitama and the curve on the same day, wait 72 hours, and then do that again. That's fine. What I just want to caution people is not to just bombard their skin every day with really strong and intense treatments. Give your skin some time to do some healing in between. When you go and have a facial treatment by your esthetician, she might do all those modalities in one treatment. But guess what? You're only going to see her once every 5 weeks usually. So when you hit the skin with everything and then you have that rest period, that regrouping period for 5 weeks, and then you do it again, that's great. What you don't want to do is just bombard it with all this every single day. Give your skin time to respond and to heal and improve. Think of the long, it's the long haul. It's not the quick, short, how do I get this overnight kind of reaction. Not that you can't get that with these, right? You know, with the curve, the next day your skin feels tighter. If you use it on your legs, your arms, your legs are tighter. It is overnight. But we just want to be mindful of doing a healthy practice with our skin. So I hope that that is helpful. I can see that there are more questions coming in. Let me check on my computer over here. Oh, there they are. Oh, I see on my end it said 14. Actually, it's just 14 likes. I don't even know how to read, you guys. It's so bad. Yeah, I have 44 people watching. That's wonderful. So 44 people, tell me, what is your age? What are your concerns? What are you thinking about? We have somebody who says, how can I tell the difference between maturation arrest and sebaceous hyperplasia? I love that question. That's such an awesome question. So, maturation arrest looks like a pebble underneath the skin, like there's a little pearl underneath the skin. And a lot of times with people with maturation arrest, when you just look at them, you think they have beautiful skin. But they know that if you go like this and you pull their skin tight, there's all these little pebbles underneath the skin, that sebum that's just arrested and stuck underneath there. That is what maturation arrest looks like. And there's two kinds of maturation arrest. Now there's some maturation arrest that we can use retinol on, we can use some scrubs on, and we can open that up and it'll open up, be a nice blackhead. You can extract it or just wait for it to come up and then it's gone. There's those other lovely people who have a more hormonal form of maturation arrest, and if you put a scrub on that, or if you put retinol on that, you are gonna get inflamed pimples everywhere. So it's really important to work with one of our acne specialists so we can help you determine which kind of maturation arrest you have so we can address it in the proper way. Now, what is sebaceous hyperplasia? Sebaceous hyperplasias are on the surface of the skin. They're not down underneath the skin. They're on the surface and they look like a raised little donut with a little brown spot in the middle. So it looks like you should be able to extract it, right? It looks like a blackhead, but nothing really comes out of that. It's just this little round donut on your skin. It's very common to get them across the forehead. It's very common to get them around the eye area. And they can be really problematic for some people. Now, some dermatologists will say, oh, it's nothing, you know, of course it's not cancerous or anything like that. Don't worry about it. And they don't want to often remove them because they say, well, if I remove it, it's going to leave a little scar. But let me tell you, if you know you're one of those people that's prone to getting those sebaceous hyperplasias, go ahead, have them remove it. Have them remove it with some dry ice or with electricity. Have them remove that. Even if it leaves a little bit of a white scar right there, it's better in the long run because they grow. And I can tell you that from working with so many of my clients. By the time you hit your 60s, if you've had some for 10, 20 years, they get bigger. And if you want to remove it when it gets that big, then it's going to leave a big divot and a bigger scar. So sebaceous hyperplasias are really tough to deal with. You've got to be really careful about the kind of oils that you have in your diet, eating a really healthy diet, healthy oils. Some people find that keeping the area dried out a little bit really helps with sebaceous hyperplasias. So something like the glycol and retinol pads can help keep them at bay. Let me use exfoliating cleanser for those who have that rougher skin with a lot of those. Those are two products that can be helpful for sebaceous hyperplasias. Now, there's one more kind of bump that I'm going to throw at you guys in here because you probably didn't think of it, whoever asked this question. What about milia? What does milia look like? So milia is a little bump that's also on the surface of the skin, but it has a little white ball inside there. And if you were to poke it and extract it, this little perfectly white little round ball comes out of the skin. And that is often caused from dryness and sensitivity. So one of the number one things, if you tend to get milia, is that you cannot use L-ascorbic acid on your skin. There are many forms of vitamin C that will be fine for you, but you cannot use L-ascorbic acid because my clients with milia who are milia prone, if they put an L-ascorbic acid on their skin, they will just pretty soon have milia all over the place. The best thing to put on those, be sure that your barrier is really well protected. Think about Neogenesis Barrier Renewal Cream, that perfect balance of oils to really keep the skin healthy without being too heavy, not clogging the pores, allowing the skin to breathe. That would be your Neogenesis Barrier Repair. And then use mandelic serums. Use Bion's Mandelic 8% serum. That's going to help draw it to the surface, where if you have an esthetician that can do it, they can just do a really light poke, stretch the hole a little bit, and then they just gently push it out and poof, pops right out of the skin. Put a little bit more of your Mandelic serum on top of it, and you're good to go. But that would be the remedy to use for those. So now I'm going to check on to the next question. I went all down the bumps and gross things on your skin. Let's see what else we have here. So I have heard from many that gold had never been proven beyond one single thing for your skin. Is this true, or is this some proof it does work? You know, to be honest, I am right there with you. For years, we've seen in Las Vegas, when you go there in Palm Springs, you go have these gold flake facials put on your skin. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is a lot of hype and ridiculousness. But you know me, I test everything. I have not tested one of those facials where they put the gold all over your face. But I do know I was skeptical when I saw the gold ampoule. I thought, oh great, we put the gold in here. But using it, for me, it's always the test is in using the product and seeing what it does on your skin. I have to see visible results. Otherwise, I don't sell it and I don't recommend it. I didn't use LED lights for a long time in my practice because a lot of the LED lights that were out there on the market were just garbage and didn't do anything. It was a lot of hype and no performance. So I'm slow to jump on the wagon with things, and I'm very cautious and careful. So my experience so far with Hydrotox and playing with it is that I do see really good results from it. And the combination of that gold in there, I don't know if that's that key ingredient that's making it really work, but it's really working. So I just recommend giving it a try. See how it goes for you. Yeah, how long have I been using the Hydrotox? So we've only had Hydrotox in the office for a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks at the most. Now, I got to use it for the first 3 days that it was in my house. And then I saw my husband's lines and I thought, oh, he's gonna be the really good guinea pig for this product. And right now I'm in Sacramento during the week and he is in Redding during the week. We just sold our house in Redding. So in a couple weeks, he's gonna be here all the time with me in Sacramento. I'm very happy about that. But I sent my Hydrotox off with him. So I got to use it for 3 or 4 days. And I saw great results. And then I sent it off with him and he's using it now. So to answer your question, I have not had that much time using it on myself for a prolonged period of time yet. I am excited to get going again with it. So I did take this whole fresh kit. I brought this home today because I wanted to show you guys the boxes. I am going to open it up and I'm going to start doing it. I would love it if some of you did the same thing. Go out in the morning with no makeup on. Step out your back door or something so you have some nice light on your face. Take a really nice real world selfie of yourself the day before you start this, and then use it for a week, take another picture. Use it for another week, take another picture, and share those pictures with me because I think it's going to be really exciting. What I saw in the 4 days that I was using it was very exciting. So that's my answer on that. Revised question. How long or how many units did you find you needed to use before you felt the Botox effects? Okay, so they on the videos that Tove is sending us on how to use this product, they're saying to use 3/4 of a syringe. I used 1/4 of a syringe and I had plenty to really work it into my skin all over. And I saw really nice softening effects of the lines around my lips. I saw a softening effect of these lines that go down here around my big worry line. So, and that was just using 1/4 of the syringe. So I think this ampoule is going to last me a very long time. And I will, now that I've got this one home, I will experiment with it. I'll experiment with using 3/4 of the syringe. And so I can give you more feedback about that. Do I see more results if I use more than when I used less? Even though it didn't feel like I needed more, I had plenty of slip, worked it in really well, but maybe if I had used more of it, I would feel even more of that Botox-like effect. So I will be playing with this, and I'll definitely come back and give you a more in-depth review when I've played with it some more, because you know me, I always customize everything. I take it and say, what if I did this? What if I tried that with it? So I'll be doing some of that, and I'll be sharing that over the next 6 months. The next year, I'm going to be sharing with you how I customize my treatment. For instance, using the TMP to work these things into the skin. I didn't use the TMP on top of the gold glow because thinking about the electricity and the metal and the gold, and I don't know, just didn't seem like a good idea. I'll probably try it because I'm that person. I'll probably try it and I'll let you know what it does when I do. Okay. How do we incorporate using the curve on our bodies? So if you go to my website, I've updated it in the last week because we just needed more information on there. You will see the settings for skin tightening, and then you'll see settings for fat burning. So, and it tells you on my website what to do on the face, what to do on the body. So you're gonna do your skin tightening on the body, and you're gonna do your fat burning on the body. And it'll show you on my website, it'll tell you exactly how long to do of each on your body areas. And it all depends on if you want to be doing fat burning on your body. I mean, you may find that you don't need fat burning on your body, you just want skin tightening because your skin is getting loose. You can do the same skin tightening that you do on your face on your body, okay? Instead of using the Hyal, can I use the MGF? Sure. I have used all 3 of those different serums, so I have my favorites. Hyal is my favorite. MGF is not my favorite. I don't know why. You just have to try them for yourself and see which ones you like best. I do know that the Hyal is going to give you a better foaming action with your Caviplla than the MGF. The MGF has a naturally occurring retinol and glycolic in it. So if I were to choose, I would probably use that MGF at night with it and then use that Hyal, or there's the other one, the green one, the more calming, the azulene. I also really like the azulene. Those are my 2 favorites of those. Okay. How do you recommend for melasma? 59-year-old struggled with it for 10 years, super faithful with sunscreen. Okay, I love it that you're asking me that. You're just a year older than I am. I struggle with melasma as well. And as I've been telling my clients up through now, is that during the summertime, we kind of lay off on our actives and our correctives that we use to treat the hyperpigmentation. But as October draws near, I'm going to be releasing my amazing, the program that I love for eliminating and lightening that dark pigmentation. It works really well, but we just want to wait a little bit longer so that, one, we're not vacationing, we're not out in the sun that much, the temperature outside isn't that hot. When all of that happens, usually that's more October, November, then we can start easing into those stronger correctives, and I'm going to be doing videos on it. I'm going to be printing out whole protocols for you guys to use going into fall for hyperpigmentation. And I really encourage you to go do either the customized protocol on my website or the healthy aging protocol. If the healthy aging one, you get coaching that comes with some coaching and emailing back and forth, costs a little bit more. But if you just want the customized protocol for your age and hyperpigmentation, that's like $30, very affordable. Or if you have reward points, you can get it for free. And I'll give you now. Well, I'm already starting to give my personal clients who do the online consultations, they're already starting to get my hyperpigmentation protocols. So if you do that program, I will get you that information and you can start getting the products and moving forward with that. All righty. Okay, let's see who's next. After we do our faces, do we have to wait another day to do our bodies? No. You can use the curve from head to toe all in one day. Just keep turning it on and doing it again and this is our question about the bumps and lumps under the skin. She says, I think I have the hard pearl kind. Yeah, so the hard pearl kind, that's milia. 49 postmenopausal normal skin, and you've got some milia going on in there. So for sure, I mean, you too could do a consultation. I could help you with that, but most likely what you're gonna wanna do, eliminate that L-ascorbic acid from your skincare diet. Get yourself on a Mandelic serum. Rhonda Allison has a wonderful Mandelic serum, or the Bion Mandelic serum, and kind of bring those up towards the surface, and then go get a facial where you can get them. Once they come up and they're really prominent on that surface, all they do is prick it. You just go get a little lancet, you prick it, and that thing just pops right out. It can be hard to do on yourself, but an esthetician can usually pop them right out of there. Then put your Mandelic right over it. Right after she does it, put your Mandelic on there so it gets down into that pore, cleans it out, and keeps it exfoliating. Uh-oh, says we lost sound. Oh no, she lost sound. We didn't lose sound, yay. Okay, how often can we use the vibrating spatula? Okay, so the spatula, that's a treatment that we do in the treatment room. So generally we're doing it once every 5 weeks. So we need to keep our skin barriers intact and healthy. So don't do the spatula every day. And which you probably don't want to do it every day, right? But once a week is awesome. You can do your self-love Sunday or whatever and get in there and do a really nice cleansing and removing of those dead skin cells on the surface, and that'll be perfect for you. Was that Joseph again? Joseph, were you asking me how often you can use that spatula again? I keep telling you, I've given Joseph permission to maybe use it 3 times a week. I told him twice at the most. Today I'm saying once a week. Okay. Do you keep a record of the consults we have done in the past? Yes. Yes, I do. I keep them all. Occasionally we have something happen and we lose information. You know, it's like that in this technology world. But for the most part, I have them all. And what you always want to do is use the same email every time you do a consult, because I have many clients that do one every 3 months. Every season they do a new one, or as soon as they use up the products from their consult, then they do another one. So then we decide on their next step to take it a little deeper, and all of that is kept in a nice clean file for me so I can go in there. So that absolutely 100%, if you're spending the money on serums for your skin and good quality professional skincare, then you should be using something to infuse those into the skin. Like I talked about, using the TMP to infuse that Caviplla in. Use the My Skin Buddy, use the skin spatula, use the Derma Red or the Derma Blue, use one of those ultrasound devices. Use those to push those serums into the skin so that you get the biggest and best bang for your buck and for your time that you put into that. All right, let's see if we have any more questions. Okay, the Festoons. I love you. Festoons are so tough. So if these are Festoons, let me tell you a bit what that is. That's usually a bag under the eye right here. And if you've had those since you were a child, since you were 10, 12 years old, you've always had that there. Nothing is going to get rid of that except plastic surgery. I'm sorry to tell you. However, as we age, or if we have allergies, if you have a Festoon that comes and goes, we can work with that. So one of the top things you're going to do, I have this one right next to me, so I'll grab it. You can slowly drag that down, and I'm going to do that 3 or 4 times. And then I'm going to come up around the eye area, and I'm going to use the little pointy one. I love this tool. And I'm going to use very light pressure. So the amount of pressure I'm using is the weight of the device or the tool on my hand. So you can kind of feel how that is. I'm not digging it in. I'm just the weight of the device, and I'm moving it over the eyebrow. You can also do little circles over the eyebrow, but I just I'm gonna go to sleep while we do this together. 3 times over the eyebrow, 3 times under the eyebrow, 3 times on the inside. And then I'm gonna come out here. I just love this thing, but I'm gonna come down, and you can do a little bit of dragging with one of these smoother sides. You can do a little dragging and come over the ear and then you're going to come back down here and you're going to drain it away. If you do that on one side and then you look at yourself in the mirror and just feel what that feels like, you can feel how this is so much more open. What you're doing is reducing that stagnation, right? I keep talking about this over and over again. Stagnation leads to aging. I don't know if it's aging that causes stagnation or stagnation that causes aging, but as we age, we get stagnant, we stop moving as much, things don't move around as much, and we need these other tools to help move that lymph along, reduce the stagnation in your face. If you reduce the stagnation in your face, you're going to have less breakouts, you're going to have less hyperpigmentation, you're going to have less sagging. Everything is going to be healthier. So having one of these next to your couch, if you're a TV watcher, I have certain shows I love to watch, having these kind of tools right there while you'll grab them and you just do this all the time. Every day do something. If you're not doing your gua sha tool, then you've got your Anma out. I'm seeing if I have an Anma on my desk today. No, looks like I carted it off somewhere. I do have another cool device, another cool tool though over here. Let me grab it. How many of you have one of these at home? This is great for those bags under the eyes too, if they're nice and cold. And you're just rolling this under here. And then a product for you, my friend. Lemieux TGFB eye masks. They're little masks that you put on your eye right here. You put it on, then use your ice globe on it. Leave it on for about 15 minutes. Take it off, put it back in this little pouch. Stick it in the refrigerator so that you can use it again. You can always use a sheet mask twice. That's my rule, 2 times. And then when you take off that little mask, the little sheet mask for your eye right there, you pull that off, that area is so depuffed and so smooth, but not if you're one of those people that has that natural bump right there from the time they were 10 or 12, it's not gonna touch you. Okay, but it does really work on reducing that. You might find that you even like having that puff in there. If you're in your 70s or 80s, maybe 80s, if you're in your 80s and beyond, if you've got some puffiness there and you put that little pad on, you take it off, it's depuffed that area, but then you're gonna have this little saggy skin hanging right there, right? I mean, the dilemma that we have to face. Aging is not for those who are not brave, right? It's for the brave of heart. So then you kind of decide, oh, well, maybe a little puffiness is okay in that eye area if I don't want to have some skin sagging right there. So everybody's eyes are different, everybody's face is different. You can experiment with what works for you. Okay, let's see. I'm looking at questions, choosing which one I'm going to go to here. Oh, and you wanted a device. For the Festoons, you wanted a device. None of the electrical devices that I have are for you. The device, the tool for you is one of our mill face. There's 2 different ones. One, I just don't have it right here. Let me look. Hold on, I see it, I'll go get it. Voila. Either one of these devices will work for what we were doing with the drainage around the eyes. That's the tool for you. Okay, let's see here. Now though, because I gotta qualify that, right? So if you got a lot of drooping in your eyelids, and some stuff going on in here, if you do your curve treatment and you do that skin tightening treatment and you're coming up on the face and you're coming up on the forehead, even though you can't take this and put it on your eyeball and you can't get right onto these little tissues around here, because you're doing so much lifting and firming around the rest of the area, it's going to lift the eyes as well. Does that make sense? It really does work. So that would be, that's what I'll say. That's it on the eyes. Okay, how do you know which Neogenesis topical to use, recovery or booster? So, booster can be used by anyone who wants to add some plumpness, add a little hydration in with it, especially if you're not particularly wanting to, not needing to speed up wound healing and cell regeneration. So back up a little bit. So for most people, you're gonna wanna use recovery, because recovery's got that highest concentration of your stem cell cytokines. You're gonna wanna use that at night, and recovery is what you wanna use if you've had any kind of treatments going on, or you're wanting to boost healing, or just for me, it's the everyday thing that I need 50 and over to keep my skin acting young. Now, that said, if you're wanting to also add in some plumpness and whatnot, you can do booster in the morning and recovery at night. And that is a beautiful combination. I do know some people, those neogenesis hardcore, and their skin's beautiful, and they use both. So there is the potential to use both of those in the morning, and then just use your recovery at night. And for the most part, anytime you've got some healing and stuff that you want to boost and do, then you're going to grab that recovery. With the boost, what you're going to get with that is some extra plumping action in with it. So it also depends on age. I mean, some of my staff in their later 30s who are seeing some sun damage, they love booster. They're young enough, they don't need recovery yet, but that booster, it does that plumping they need for the sun damage and the little leathery lines they're seeing. The plumping of the booster along with the recovery healing, along with the booster. In the booster, you get the plumping, and then you also get the stem cell cytokines, so you're also going to get some healing with it. So if you're in that younger age group, booster's fine for you, works great. Now, when do you choose skin serum? Skin serum is that one that I'm choosing for that younger crowd, usually those people who have acne or wanting to speed up healing. Some people who have acne, their skin heals very, very slowly. So skin serum is very helpful for them. I have a few male clients who they're just not going to spend the money on recovery serum, but maybe they have some sensitivities, rosacea, things like that. Those male clients, older men, the ones I'm thinking of are more in their 60s. They're going to use skin serum where they would not spend the money on recovery, and that's fine. They still see good results using the skin serum. Okay, blackheads, pesky blackheads. So first of all, I want to tell you that I have really large pores on the sides of my nose, and the sebum in there can get dark looking. And before I was an esthetician, I used to think those were blackheads. And so I thought I had blackheads. Every pore was just a blackhead. What I have to tell you is, guess what? Those are not blackheads. What we call that is sebaceous filaments. Anyone who's alive who has pores is going to have sebaceous filaments. And yeah, you can go and squeeze them out in the oils, and the oxidized oils come out. But the next day, it's right back because you're alive. Your sebaceous glands are working. As long as you're not in the grave, you're going to keep having more sebaceous filaments forming. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. So it may be that you have that going on. Like you said, if you extract them carefully, you get all that out, but they're right back the next day. It's because of sebaceous filaments. Some things that help with that, antioxidants. So antioxidant serums keep the oils from oxidizing, so they're not going to be as brown. The other thing is using a good corrective toner to tone the skin. My very favorite one, say it over and over and over again, is from Rhonda Allison. It's her Mandelic Defense Tonic. It's not drying, but it really does help keep that oil and stuff at bay in that area. Now, that said, if you have real blackheads, to where you get this enlarged pore and it gets bigger and bigger and it's black and it's got this hard chunk, when you push on it, this hard chunk of black stuff comes out, that's a real blackhead. And if you're prone to those, you've got to have proper cleansing. So you've got to have the right kind of cleanser. You've got to be cleansing your skin. Watch my detox cleanse YouTube video. You've got to be cleansing for that full 3 minutes on your face. And then there's some other things that we use as well. One that comes to mind, so popular, Skin Script's glycolic and retinol pads. Retinol goes in deep in the pore and it keeps the sebaceous stuff from getting sticky and getting stuck down in the pore. So that's why the retinol is so good. Then the glycolic acid that's on there is so good because it sheds that top layer of skin off. And so if you keep that nicely exfoliated, and then that retinol is going down in there and keeps it from getting all glued in, that is a perfect combination, quickie combination for people who get blackheads. The other thing that'll be your friend are retinol serums. So Rhonda Allison's Retinol Supreme, it has a new name. Let me tell you what the new name for Retinol Supreme is, because I love that stuff. She changed the name on everything. It's, well, no, not that one. It's still called Retinol Supreme, but there's another one that has salicylic acid and retinol together. And normally I would never put salicylic acid on blackheads because it'll dry them in. But when you mix it in Rhonda's combination with retinol, the next morning after you use this, you have, we call it Barbie skin. You have that perfect skin. So that one is called Salicylic A Serum or A Beta Complex. Either one of those are fantastic for blackhead prone skin. And of course, if you're blackhead prone, on my website, every product that is acne safe has a gray acne safe badge on the image. Those will be the best products for you if you're blackhead prone. But if you have sebaceous filaments, don't worry about that acne safe badge. That has nothing to do with that. The sebaceous filaments, we want antioxidants on there and then some light exfoliation. Oh, another pad that comes to my mind that's great for people, whether you're sebaceous filaments or your real blackheads, is Les Muse Vita C Clear Skin Pads. That combination of vitamin C and glycolic makes the skin look really great. Okay, and you use those pads, you rub it all over and really rub it in well, and then you let it dry, and then you put your moisturizers and things on top of it. You don't rinse those off. Okay, next person, I think I'm gonna take a few more questions, and then we're gonna have to get off of here. It's a wonderful Friday afternoon. We've been on over an hour, so I'm so excited that you guys are here, and I love answering these questions. I'm gonna go as long as I can. If you're currently working on hyperpigmentation from your consult, would you wait to start Hydrotox? I'm 73. So if you are one of my clients and a healthy aging client, and we're working on hyperpigmentation, I have been working on a hyperpigmentation protocol that uses the Sculplla and Hydrotox, and I can send that to you. All you have to do is send me an email, do an email check-in, and I'll get it off to you. What device and products do you recommend for deep horizontal head lines? The 11s, I have those too. So we have a couple products that help to soften that area. One of them is this new Hydrotox that I just showed you. And then the other one is from Nelly DeVost. What's it called? Biomatrix Cellulaire, I believe. And it also looks like a syringe kind of thing, and you use quite a bit of it and you massage it in there. Those are some things that help with that. Now, I am also experimenting with some different companies have sent me some little pads that you put it on at night and leave it on there. I'm looking for one that you can put on all these great correctives and then put that pad on too, and it'll stay stuck on there. And that will be really exciting. So more news to come on those. I have several different companies I'm testing on that right now to see how that works. But when I use those, they're kind of like frownies, but I'm trying to find ones that aren't paper so they stick better. The frownies are hard to put on top of other skincare products. They don't stick very well, but it's like a little piece of plastic right here, or brownies are paper, and they stick right here. And so when you frown, it doesn't allow that divot to form. And when you use those, you wake up the next morning, when you take it off, that skin is just smooth as a baby's bottom. But then by the end of the day, it is kind of coming back, but it's nice to pull it out, pull that wrinkle back out, even if it's at night while you're sleeping. A lot of times I'm one of those people who even frowns and stuff when I'm sleeping. So having that on while I'm sleeping, it gives the skin a break, and it helps stop that, helps the circulation to be able to happen. So we're not having that stagnation in here. We're opening it up, and blood flow and all that good stuff can happen in there. Okay. Yes, thyroid issues. Avoid the thyroid with your devices. So you can do here, you can do the sides, but don't go right on top. What device and products do you recommend for early 20s? We kind of hit on that. We hit on the 23-year-old, right? In the beginning. So 20-year-olds, you are, when the older people are losing their collagen, the 20-year-olds, you're losing your antioxidant protection. It's waning in your body. So you need superfoods and superfoods on your skin. So you're wanting to use vitamin C's and antioxidant serums and good sunscreens. So Hydrotox, I don't know, where in your 20s are you? And do you have any deep expression lines yet? I suppose in your 20s you could start to have some crow's feet, and yes, it would help with crow's feet and those kind of expression lines. So you could use Hydrotox in those areas, absolutely. I just tend to think of my daughters in their 20s, and I think their faces, their skin was just so perfect. I don't think they needed to try. Okay, here we go. So you're gonna get a little my philosophy on aging here coming in, okay? You 20-year-olds, you are beautiful. We all developed expression lines. It's part of who we are. I have these smile lines, and I love people who have these smile lines on their cheeks. They're just so beautiful to me. Even the worry line, I've earned all of that. That is part of what makes you really interesting looking and really shows your knowledge in your life and that you've been around. In your 20s, take care of your skin, do the antioxidants and all that, but just love your skin. You're gonna start seeing expression lines in your 20s and 30s, and that's okay. Celebrate those lines. That makes you so interesting. How many of you out there have watched Ted Lasso? I'm not good with names, but there's an actress on there. She's this power woman. She's my favorite character in the whole thing. She has expression lines. She has some texture on her skin. And you know what? I think her skin is perfect. I love all that texture on her skin. It's so amazing. It makes her skin, her face so interesting. So I just want to encourage you to do a paradigm shift. Let's shift away from that thinking that we all need to have Barbie skin. The LA Barbie skin. I mean, I love you guys in LA, but some of you out there are getting so much filler and so much Botox in there that you don't have any texture to your skin. You don't have that interestingness in your face. I don't know. I don't blame you for it. I know it's hard. Aging is hard, and I definitely am not shaming anybody for doing that. I've had Botox. When I first hit 50, I did Botox 2 or 3 times on this line in here because I was dealing with it. I was dealing with all those feelings that go with being 50 and my hair. And when I was 50, I got braces and I grew out my silver. So if you can imagine how insecure I felt at that time, and really, wow, it was intense. And so I get it. I understand doing those things, but I just want to encourage, plant a little seed in my 20-year-old kids out there and all of you 20s, 30s. I just want to plant a seed in your minds to that, question that stuff. Your expressions, all that, the worry lines, the smile lines, the happiness, all that happens, that makes you so beautiful. It makes you so unique. It's part of who you are. So, I'll get off my soapbox. Okay, any suggestions to head off the beginning of jowls? So sometimes it all depends on your age, but some people feel like they're starting to see jowls, and a lot of times that's dehydration. So the very first thing I'm gonna do with most people in their younger years starting to see jowls, I'm gonna put them on the My Skin Buddy. I'm gonna make sure you're not putting oils on your skin, and make sure you're washing your face twice a day with a gentle gel cleanser so that you're getting that water hydration in the skin, and then you're using that My Skin Buddy for cleansing and for putting the serums, your water-based serums, into the skin. And that's when you're gonna see a lot of this stuff that starts to first show up in the neck in this area. You're gonna see a lot of change in that right away. Can you use Rondella the question is, can you use Rhonda Ellison toner before you use your Caviplla? And yes, you can. So that's very similar to using the new Hydrotox peel pads. Very similar to, same concept as using one of Rhonda Ellison's toners. You can definitely use those toners, massage them in well, let the skin dry, and then start putting your serums on. I usually layer 1 or 2 serums underneath my Caviplla. Usually it's gonna be a recovery serum, and then it's gonna be the Hyal serum, and I'm gonna put on my Caviplla, and now tomorrow morning I'm gonna put on my Hydrotox, and then put on the moisturizer on top of it. So let's see, I think we got through. I'm starting to lose my voice. I'm getting very thirsty. It's been so fun, you guys, talking, and so wonderful to be able to answer all of your questions. So I'm going to keep on working on improving this experience for all of you. We're working on getting a better camera, better sound system, and a better way for me to see your messages, because I want to do this. I want to do it every week. Get on here and just get down and get real on what's going on with our skin. So I hope you all have a very wonderful Friday afternoon and a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you all again next week. Take care.